So welcome back to episode 2 of this cutting phase after you come through this obviously recovered binge eating cycle that I'm going through for last year. And so far so good. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode. This week I'm going to try and talk you through my chest and triceps training session this week in kind of like the next 3 minutes, well being as boring as possible, because if you wanted to you could just go on my Instagram and watch most of my workouts. But this session, for the chest session, I kicked off with the Smith machine. Move nice and slowly through this. So trying to keep a tempo of around 3-1-1-0. I've been doing a lot of tempo training recently just to try and minimize the risk of injury and just try and increase the amount of stimulus and get through certain muscle tissues whilst I'm on this current training cycle that I'm doing at the moment. So a little bit different to the usual, and most things I'm kind of doing 2 sets of and just getting 2 feeder sets in at the start. As you can probably see from most of these exercises, they will be 2 sets only. This second movement is the cable D handle chest press. So it's not a fly. I am trying to press through this and try and really get across that top portion of the chest with maximum accuracy through the cable, and you probably see that little roller behind me just to try and increase the range. I can try and get as far back as possible with the stretch and the squeeze. Next movement we moved into is the weighted dip, and again largely pec focus. I'm trying to lean as far forward as I could with this just to get as much pec focus as possible and keep it off the triceps where and when I can. Whilst doing these weighted, I'm just trying to get a slight pause and keep that 3-second eccentric phase through there as well to try and get as much emphasis on the chest as possible. Next movement was the pec deck, and again just a standard top set here and then a back off set with the 2 feeder sets to start off with. Again, just moving into it. A feeder set is essentially just where we're getting a feel for the movement and then working into it. I also supersetted this movement again with push-ups. So these were the intention push-ups, where keeping a real strict tempo, going for around 3-1-2-1, so 3-second negative, and then 2 seconds on the way up, and taking all sets on this one to absolute failure. Hence you can probably see by my face at the end of this set in absolute disgust. And then after that we went into smashing a little bit of triceps. So I went into the dual arm cable crossover extensions here, and this one's very sore, so I enjoyed this one a lot. So again, 2 sets only on this one, keeping the rest brains at 8 to 10 and 12 to 15, trying to get a big stretch and a big squeeze. I find these ones really good because I can stretch across the body and squeeze across the body, and I get a lot more out of it than what I would with just doing a normal cable tricep push downs. And I can direct the elbow a lot better into the movement as I'm going through, so I get a better trajectory from the upper arm basically. Once we'd finished this, I then went on to finish the workout with the overhead cable tricep extensions. Again, higher rep range here, and putting the tripod through the lengthened range and trying to really challenge it through there to get the stretch through it. And I'm trying to split the cables as much as possible I can at the top, just to get that real squeeze through the top of the movement. Again, keeping around the 3-second eccentric part of the movement so I can really feel it. And this is where kind of I'm trying to work on as much as possible through this, because I've had tricep issues and I've had elbow tendonitis, and this kind of really helps trying to work on the eccentric phase to really strengthen that tendon. Now after this we went into a bit of a cheeky posing session, and I want to add this bit into the video because this is probably the worst that I've looked in regard, or what some would deem the worst, because I'm the highest body fat that I've been for a while, at over 210 pounds. However, it's probably the least I've ever given a shit. Like, I don't look probably amazing, but to me I actually feel great. I'm training well, the pump's good, my strength's really good, I'm holding a lot of muscle tissue, I'm also holding a lot of fat through the lower back and the lumbar region. But to be honest, I just don't fucking care. I'm starting to cut down. This is the start of the composition change, and it's not going to be our end point. Workout is done. Actually, had to pull back sometimes on tricep movements because I have tendonitis in my elbow. It's been fucked. It's so typical as well. All through lockdown training, I never had any issues with my tricep. I went through some filming in the gym the other day, the last week of home workouts when I was actually having a week off the gym, and Skull Crushers managed to fuck up my elbow. So now we're just on the way to physio. I'm going to see Physio Dave, try and sort my elbow out. May get it pinned today, and hopefully do some work on it to give it a little bit of release, because it's quite Dave will probably explain what's going on my elbow a little bit more, but potentially going to get my elbow pinned, hopefully give it some release for next week so we can go back into training with a good healthy elbow, or a little bit more range through the elbow, and manage to smash some triceps in. Turns out we actually didn't do any pinning during the session. It was just more massaging through the scapula, through the lats and through the shoulder, because that's where Dave thought I was quite tight, and it may have offered less range through the elbow joint and through the tricep because I was so tight in that region. So we're just trying to like give as much release as possible to give me as much movement as possible when I go back into the gym. Obviously Lucy getting all the flattering angles during this session. And basically I did my elbow in during lockdown and home training because I was a dickhead and went to the park and tried to do as many pull-ups as possible in half an hour. I think I ended up getting 400 and something, and just absolutely annihilated my elbow. It wasn't due to obviously load, it was due to repetition after repetition of the pull-up, and now kind of paying the prices of that. So I'm just trying to put myself in the best position possible with this, because elbow tendonitis is an absolute pain in the tits, to say the least. And there's certain movements now that I can't do, such as pull-ups obviously, and skull crushes is another no-no for me. So it's gonna be something that I'm working on throughout this cutting phase to try and make sure that I'm putting my elbow in the best position possible. I'll probably try and get into physio twice a week. Again, Dave just relieving some of the stress from the forearm here, because the forearm was very tight, and as it goes through that forearm area is where it was very tender, hence some of the disgusting faces you potentially see me pull through this. But yeah, had a good session here and it helped relieve some of the stress from the elbow. Just making some lunch. I've actually started to make my chicken from fresh because I used to buy the packet stuff all the time. So I've got like 200 grams of chicken with some peppers, just bulks out a little bit. And then I've also been making my rice in this little device, I don't know what it's called, microwavable dish. Just making some fresh basmati. I don't know why I said it like that, I do apologize if it offends anyone. Because people get offended by everything nowadays. But I've been making it fresh in here, and it's fucking way nice, and I get well more volume out of it. I'm gonna have about 100 grams with my chicken. I don't know what's going on with these accents today, I do apologise. Actually don't fucking apologise at all. Just again, eating when I feel hungry. When I get kind of the hunger hormones kick in, have a bit of satiety, I'll smash a meal in. So having some proper bro meal, don't even know what the fuck that is in my hand. Some chicken and rice. I'll of course some other stuff in, some Salt Bay, do a little bit of that in. I'm also going to make things even saltier with some soy sauce, some light soy sauce, sprinkle a bit of that on, or fucking drown it, either or. I'm also going to have a bit of fucking brown sauce, mate. Brown sauce. Smash that on. Gonna have this meal now, don't know what the calories and macros are. I'll probably put them on screen. Also, it was so funny, the swipe up for last week's video that I did for Instagram to last week's YouTube video, which is kicking off the kind of mini cut from since I've been recording from binge eating. I put the video of me farting on Instagram, and it had the most swipe ups I've ever had to YouTube video. People just love a good bit of toilet humour. And also, real men fart. Tell me I'm wrong. So, pretty much the whole point of me making this vlog and this week's episode was to make my daily oat ball, which everyone asks me about on Instagram all the time, so I thought I'd go through a proper cinematic oat recipe today. And guess what I've done? I fucking made my oats this morning without recording it. So, tomorrow morning we're going to record oats in the morning, do some cool shit on Sunday, which I'll probably film as well. But now, I'm just about to watch the Everton game because I'm playing Tottenham, and if Everton get beat today, I'm not finishing this vlog. Come on, Everton. Come on. Oh, you're fucking joking, lad. Give the fucking pitch then, Robbie. Fuck off. Oh my god. Rodriguez. Oh. Fuck off then, fuck off. Shit. And now, the moment has arrived. The moment you've all been waiting for. The daily oat ball is upon us. I've got everything out that we need for this, so I'm going to go through it individually, starting with the pan. This pan is actually from, I think it was from Amazon, it was like 15 quid. I was Googling for ages oat pans, and this seems to be the best one, ceramic one, Amazon. Might leave a link in the description, might not. Pair of scales, Tesco, tenner. salsa. We've got obviously oats. I just buy some proper cheaper ones from Aldi, nothing special about those. We're gonna be using 60 grams. Whey, just normal whey, vanilla. I use half a scoop. Punnet of blueberries, pack of frozen raspberries, some cinnamon, some Skinny Food blackcurrant jam, and some Skinny Food skinny syrup, salted caramel. And that's everything we're gonna need for it. So, without further ado, done. Look how special that looks. There is really like precise methodology in this, and the most important part for me is getting that fond off the bottom of the pan to go on top, because it almost tastes like rice pudding on top of your oats. Final step is going to be the salted caramel skinny syrup. Sensational. Look at the volume of that for 60 grams of oats as well. Banging. Gonna wash it down with kind of the black and blue stuff. I'll put the calories and macros up on the screen. Make sure you save this one. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, because it's pretty special. I think this is as good a place as any to wrap this week's vlog up. I know it's been a kind of mismatch. It's been a bit all over the place. We've been doing a few different bits, but the sun is shining. The vitamin D is out.
It's shining. The tank is green. The tank is green. You know that's from...
What the hell is that off?
Finding Nemo. Oh my god, Nemo's swimming out to sea. You know,
Anyway.
Threw you off there, didn't I?
You throw me off there. I've actually had a weight drop this week from the first week, or the second week on the cut. I'm down to 211 pounds. I just had a update from my coach Cal last night. We're going to be upping the step count to 12k for this coming week. Also got something really interesting which I might just give you a little snippet of now.
They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, depression be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me.
Into what's going to be on next week's vlog. This will be update 3 from the cutting series post binge. But yeah, if you enjoyed this one, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit that red button. Even contemplate hitting the notification bell. And what will we do?
Subscribe.
No.
See you next week.
Shit done. Corazón. Gun finna jump for this shit.